You all know me, I can't get enough pixels in my life no matter how many I cram into my eyeballs, and that's why as much as I have loved ultrawide as a concept, well, with a maximum vertical resolution of 1440p, it's been difficult for me to go back from 4K, and thus I have abandoned the ultrawide lifestyle, but that might be changing in the near future because I got my hands on LG's brand new 5K 2K OLED gaming monitor, which yes, can get up to 330 Hertz in its dual mode. We'll discuss that in just a second. So this is going to be an excellent option, not only for single player immersive stuff, in theory, we'll see when I do my official testing, but also it could be a great option for online competitive gaming as well, even if you need to maybe have some black bars in the left and right for certain games. But this is the 45GX990A, and this bad boy goes from a flat screen all the way to a 900R curve with a simple push of a button. And that amount of, pun intended, flexibility, is just so good. It's gonna be a great option for a wide variety of people. I'm gonna love that 900R curve, but maybe you want a flat ultrawide to torture yourself. Who am I to tell you otherwise? That's why this thing exists. And also, you might be surprised to see that it does have DP 2.1, meaning that you won't have any display stream compression either, even at its maximum resolution and refresh rate. And that's something you're definitely gonna want on your really expensive 45-inch ultra-wide OLED monitor, which, yeah, 45 inches, that might sound big, guys, but let me tell you, as an ultra-wide, I found that to be possibly the best size I've ever experienced with an ultrawide display. It brings a level of immersion to ultrawide that I have not experienced with any other size. And I think this really did open my eyes to the possibility of how good ultrawide really can be. Now, it does also come with two HDMI 2.1s and a Type-C. It does have built-in speakers, which might be nice depending on if they're really bad or just bad. Who knows, maybe they could surprise us and it could be all right. But it also does have the dual mode. So at 4K ultrawide or 5120 by 2160, it is gonna be 165 Hertz, which, yes, I'd love if it was 240 Hertz at that resolution, but I'll be honest, guys, 165 Hertz really is the sweet spot when it comes to refresh rates. I think it does look very nice in motion and has very low latency, and it's going to be a little bit diminishing beyond that rough frame rate anyhow, so I think that's going to be good enough. And it also does have the 330 Hertz mode at wide full HD, which, God bless your soul if you enable that. That's not going to look good, but it's an option. And it is also going to have that same VESA True Black 400 HDR certification. So yeah, you're getting HDR. It's probably going to be a little bit more impactful than what you get out of QD OLED. You are also going to get the better ambient light handling because QD OLED has issues with that. However, it's still not going to probably knock your socks off like a TV would. And also we got to talk about this. Sound the alarm. Woo, woo. It's got actually, unfortunately, not a glossy screen. Ooh, yucky. To be fair, they have made some pretty significant improvements, it seems like, in terms of the clarity. We'll see when I actually get a little bit closer to it, get a little bit more, hands-on personal time with that monitor during a review, but it doesn't look as grainy or matte as previous LG OLEDs I've reviewed in the past. Again, we'll see, and who knows, maybe that ability to bend will be a real nice feature for this thing so I can make it flat and then buff it out. But yeah, if you're not bothered by that, it is what it is. If you are, you might want to wait for my review to tell you, how much grain there is, if it's something that you can handle or not. But regardless, even though I'm definitely very worried about that, this still is gonna be, in my opinion, possibly, it could be a contender for one of the best OLEDs of 2025. We will see. I'm really looking forward to trying out, especially some single player games. That 45-inch size is really, it's gonna smack, so I can't wait to try it. Also, if you're wondering, the release date should be sometime in April, I believe, for both models of this 45-inch 5K 2K OLED. And also in terms of a price, I would expect north of $1,000. They're kind of trying to sell their regular 32-inch 4K for around $1,000 now, so I would suspect probably a launch price around $1,500, $1,600 if I was to guess, but really it could be anywhere between $1,300 to $2,000. I just think probably around $1,500, $1,600 is a bit more realistic. But in any case, which OLED are you looking forward to most? Put it in the comments below, and for everything else display related, make sure you get subscribed here on The Display Guy. Whether you're looking to connect a new console, gaming PC, or just need a fast and reliable HDMI cable to connect over long distances, Rupro has you covered with their certified 8K HDMI 2.1 fiber optic cable, available in sizes of up to 50 feet and can deliver a perfect full 48 gigabits per second connection over distances other cables could only dream of reaching. And with 48 gigabits per second of bandwidth, it can easily drive 8K 60 FPS or 4K 144 FPS 10-bit HDR video through its ultra-thin, flexible, and durable housing, and it even supports ER. So if you're in the market for a cable that can drive a beautiful new TV or monitor, be sure to check out Rupro on Amazon today.